Right as we went off the air, Jordan, there was some breaking news.
That's right. And that was about Jim Comey and Letitia James. And remember, you had an interim U.S. attorney resign, another U.S. attorney be put in place, Allison Hannigan, and then the two indictments are different issues, but grand juries issued these indictments. And the judge said that because she was the second person put in place by President Trump, and you have this 120-day window to appoint interim U.S. attorneys that are not yet been confirmed, that because the first 120 days had expired, it didn't start a new 120-day clock, so this case had to be dismissed. What does that mean, though? That means that the case can be brought again. Under federal statute, and if you want to look it up, it's 18 U.S. Code Section 3288. If a felony is dismissed for any reason after the period prescribed by the applicable statute of limitations, that especially affects Comey's, you still have within 60 days of the date of dismissal of the indictment to rebring, to go back to the grand jury, to go get to try and get the indictments again. So this is not over for Comey. This is not over for Letitia James. And the question is, does the DOJ, so far they've said they're going to appeal, that they believe the president should be able to appoint interim U.S. attorneys until the U.S. Senate can confirm someone. That should not be federal judges who do that after the first 120 days, which is kind of the current rule. So they're going to appeal that. They can appeal that. And even if they don't win there, they then start the clock on the 60 days to be able to bring new indictments. That does mean going back to a grand jury with the same information, but on both of these cases, they were able to get the indictments.
I could just get your reaction to the James Comey, Letitia James cases being dropped today. Back in Washington, James Comey put out a video. He said this matters most because a message has to be sent. The President of the United States could not use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies. Your reaction to the cases being dropped into that specific message?
Sure. We'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable for their unlawful conduct.
What is your reaction to his statement?
I'm going to keep going on this. I'm not worried about someone who has been charged with a very serious crime. His alleged actions were a betrayal of public trust.
A judge came out and said this was not done correctly.
It was done correctly because, again, you had this weird situation that you had an interim U.S. attorney. They finished their 120 days. That's all you can do it for. And then there was no U.S. attorney to take place. So the Senate had not yet confirmed someone. So President Trump chose someone else to take place. And they went through the whole thing. They got the indictments on Jim Comey on something separate than they did on Letitia James. And then the judge said, well, no, this appointment of the U.S. attorney was the specific problem here, Lindsey Halligan. So then people said, well, okay, is this just totally botched by the Trump DOJ and Pam Bondi? No. What happens here is you appeal. You can appeal the case to say whether or not this judge was correct or that it is the president who should be filling these temporary vacancies until the Senate does its job and confirms someone. But even if as they appeal, if they lose, they still have time to correct this. We call that in court, correct the indictment. So they can then go back into a grand jury, try to seek these indictments again. So as Jim Comey will say in this video, he knows probably more about this than Letitia James because of the federal side of this, that this is not over because of this. It's certainly a roadblock. You don't want it to happen, but there are ways to move forward to still seek justice for the American people against the wrongdoing that's alleged against Jim Comey and Letitia James.
And Pam Bondi said that was the case, and we played that bite earlier, but I think you got to hear now from the man himself. You got to hear from James Comey, who always puts out some sort of bizarre videos, and here they are, every bite 4.
I know that Donald Trump will probably come after me again, and my attitude's going to be the same. I'm innocent, I am not afraid, and I believe in an independent federal judiciary, the gift from our founders that protects us from a would-be tyrant. When I was a kid, my parents would wake us up for school every morning by snapping open the shades and saying, "Time to rise and shine and show the world what you're made of." Well, it's that time, America. It's time to stand up and show the fools who would frighten us, who would divide us, that we're made of stronger stuff, that we believe in the rule of law, that we believe in the importance of doing things by the law. So stand tall, shine, and keep the faith.
Using your friends to leak information that you
feel
shared
very
with the
inspired.
president. I mean, no, this guy, it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Every time from him. And, this
Red
is why
Skull is
Hillary
out there.
Clinton didn't really love him. They didn't really connect at all. Donald Trump, I mean, the whole thing. He messed up that entire election cycle. Let's not forget Democrats.
Yeah, he's probably to blame. There's a good percentage of chance that he at least had a hand in electing President
who's
Trump the first
now
time.
calling a tyrant. And the joke is here, this is a procedural matter that can be corrected. We have laws on the books that can be corrected. I think people ran to this story really quickly. Letitia James way too fast celebrating. Jim Comey knew it a little bit better, so he's a little bit more restrained in the sense that this is probably not over for me. So so don't take victory laps yet on TV. They're going to come back.
Elections going on, still special elections that are
election,
happening right here in Tennessee. Jordan, I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, we have the RNC co-chair, Casey Crosby, is joining us now. And while we're a national broadcast, this is an election that's happening on Tuesday. Over 50,000 people have voted. And it's great to have you on, co-chairman Casey Crosby of the Republican National Committee. Let me ask you this first, because we have seen some unprecedented spending by the left and the Democrat Party in this district, which is one that the last Republican congressional candidate won by 20 points, and so did Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming in. We've seen it across the country where there's outside groups coming in and spending just crazy amounts of money, particularly on somebody like Afton Ben, who is a unserious candidate. I mean, I want to say she's the gift that keeps giving, but not in the best of ways. Yeah. And the more people learn about her, I think more Tennessee will see she does not share their values. I mean, how can you elect somebody who actually says they hate everything about Nashville? I live in Kentucky. My home state is Kentucky. We border this district. I'm going to be there Saturday with a team of walkers from my home state trying to help get out the vote for Tuesday. And I think Tuesday is going to be a great day for Matt Van Ness.
We are really living in a dystopian reality. I tell you, ladies and gents, it's not great. But I want to. What is the positive, if there is a silver lining? So what this does not mean for Tennessee is that groups on the ground will continue to provide training in terms of self-managed abortions. And so instead of going to a doctor, because we won't have any doctors that provide abortions, how do you do it at home? We will continue to support reproductive justice organizations and grassroots movements. And we'll continue to figure out how to get abortion pills to people. So the organizing does not stop just because Roe is overturned.
I mean, how do you do it at home? I mean, this is a procedure that can cause not just the loss of life of the unborn child, but the pregnant woman as well. And this is the kind of flip-it statement she makes, and she makes a lot of these kind of flip-it statements throughout her short political career in Tennessee.